Now, when you talk about Mike Flynn, you talk about a guy who is dedicated to service, as I said, and who's always out there about being in front. The thing I always respected the most about Mike is he's not about what was. He is always about what will be, what should be, what must be. And he has dedicated his professional life to that idea. And I have watched it firsthand in my career. I have benefited from it firsthand in my career. One of the reasons why he and I always thought we clicked was we had amazing similar backgrounds. In your career, I have always found, whether it's in your service or if you spend a lot of time in the joint community, you will run across individuals and you will say to yourself, that guy is amazing. And early on when I met Mike, I thought to myself, that guy is amazing. We were both commissioned in 1981 from ROTC, excuse me, I don't want to take away from my Army friend. Neither of us went to service academies. We both were ROTC guys. In 1983, we both found ourselves in a little island in the Caribbean. Mike is a member of the 82nd Airborne. Myself is a surface warfare officer on the USS Karen. On that ship, I was the gunfire liaison officer firing combat naval gunfire support and supported members of the 82nd and the 22nd MEU on Grenada. I had no clue that one day, one of those guys maybe I was doing a fire support mission for was going to play such a big role in my life, and I would have the benefit and the true advantage of getting to know him as an individual. Mike has been a JSOC J2. He has been a combatant commander J2. He has been forward on the ground in Afghanistan for years in multiple positions. He has come back and done senior jobs at the D&I organization, as you heard, and the Joint Staff J2, and as the director of an agency. Again, we were both COCOM J2s, we were both JCS J2s, we both ended up becoming agency heads. And every time in every one of those positions, I only speak for me, I was always glad to think to myself, I'm getting to do this with Mike Flynn. And in fact, I want to very publicly thank Mike Flynn, because I wouldn't be where I am today if he hadn't pushed to help me along in my career. I found myself, as we all do at points in our career, I'm the PACOM J2, I'm loving life in Honolulu, and General McChrystal gets the call to go to Afghanistan, and the first thing he says is, Flynn, you're leaving that cush job as the JCS J2 and you're going with me. So now the challenge is, so they need a new JCS J2. And Flynn calls me in Honolulu and says, hey, Rodgers, you need to go do this. And I'm going, we're in 2 ground wars, I'm a Navy guy, and I'm not really even an intel officer in the Navy, I'm a cryptologist. And Mike says, no, you're the guy who needs to go do this. And then he goes to Admiral Mullen, the then chairman, and he says, hey, Rodgers is the guy you ought to hire. There is no doubt in my mind that I got that job because of Mike Flynn, because of the example that he set, because of the strategic thought, and because he is always about the men and women around him. It is never about him. It is always about the men and women that he partners with, that he serves with, that he leads. That is an incredibly powerful idea. And we have watched it for a 33-year career. And I've had the real pleasure of teaming with him, both when he was forward in Afghanistan and now as 2 agency heads. And Mike, on behalf of your intelligence community teammates, I just want to say thanks. There are very few of us who can say that we have made a difference that spans an entire organization. There are even fewer who can say that we have made a difference that spans an entire profession or discipline. And for intelligence, Mike has done just that. Today, as we would say in the Navy, we watch pass over the side probably the most visible intelligence professional that we have generated within this department in the last 10 or 20 years. And that's not by chance. It's because Mike was always willing to be out in front, to take the hard jobs, to drive change, and remind all of us that it's not about us, it's about the mission. And then it's about the men and women who make that mission execution possible. So Mike, we all want to say thank you for a great job. We want to thank you for making a great, great difference. Lori, we wish you only the best. We know that a lot of opportunities ahead of you. I can't wait to see where the journey is going to take you. I don't think we've heard the last of the Flynns. I certainly know if the rest of the family has anything to do with it, we're not going to hear the last of the Flynns. And again, Helen, we just want to say thanks. They'll be joining you soon, getting back up to Rhode Island, chance to re-plug in with the family. But on behalf of the men and women of the Defense Intelligence Agency, on behalf of the men and women of the broader intelligence community, the United States government, and as a shipmate, Mike, I just want to say thanks. Fair winds and following seas, as we say in the Navy, and all the best. And most importantly, thank you for a job well done. Thanks.